allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We do have a board member attending from 1250 East Michigan Ave in Saline, Michigan. The public has the right to attend the meeting of the Board of Education at either the regular meeting location or the video conference location. Okay, so first up is I need a motion to approve the consent agenda items inclusive of the board minutes of July 8th, 2026, Board of Education meeting, and the July 24th, 2026 special meeting.
Second.
Any questions or comments? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, next up is the superintendent section.
Hello all. Just quick, it's been a busy summer. A couple of positions I think that were important to hire. Some of you were here for the hiring of Dr. Doak for our elementary school. Dr. Doak is over there raising his hand. That's a big one. You know, when we went out for the search, you just never know, and there were some really good applicants, and quite pleased for that. But I know we made the right decision, and we got the best of the best. So that's good. And another position that was of high concern. Well, there's actually a couple. A Spanish position that we hired a woman for. They're very difficult to find. We're very fortunate to be pretty well networked, and she's going to come on. She's not a certified teacher yet. She will be very soon working towards that, to that end. So I think that's a really good thing. And another difficult position that's really, there's not many out there, is school psychologist position. Our school psychologist moved on to a larger district, and we hired a young man, actually a Stillwater grad, and he's excited to return home. So that was important. So that's it. We're getting ramped up and ready for another good school year. So going quick.
Thanks. Next up is the business manager section.
Thank you. I only have 4 things.
Only 4.
Only 4. Some of them are multifaceted, but they count as one. The auditors have finished their field work, and we anticipate the audit being complete at the beginning of October, as in years past. The project continues, field construction continues, and they started the roof work for the middle school this week. So it's exciting to see things starting to come together and getting a really good visualization of how this will all look. Attached are June financials. There are warrants. There's an annual cell phone report. There's a fund balance projection as of June 30th, and those are all in my section. And then lastly, the 26-27 tax rates are an action item, but they're also included with calculations in the my section there. We went out with a projected 4.5% rate increase, and the rates for Stillwater are quite close to that projection, which was great to see. That really panned out well. Saratoga, Easton, and Scotticoke, which represent about 14% of the total levy, had higher rates due to their decreasing equalization rates and their slower than anticipated growth. But overall, for the vast majority of taxpayers, it's quite in line with projections that we shared.
Thank you.
I could just have a couple questions. Michael, I was looking at the revenue status report from last year.
Yep.
And I'm noticing we had like $780,000 that we didn't collect.
Yeah, so revenues were overstated.
Well, I'm most of that, I see as foundation aid, which I knew that was, but I'm also looking at BOCES. They were like $151,000 that we didn't collect. Was that money that we just didn't get back from them?
Right, that was money that was budgeted as a revenue that ultimately did not materialize.
Okay, and the federal aid, what exactly, do you know exactly what that is?
Federal government oftentimes will give small amounts to schools in the event of a disaster, in the event of some sort of unforeseen circumstance, so it's kept in there as a very small amount just to the occasion that we do. Yeah.
And I'm also looking at the interest of earning, which is $158,000. So we could
Yeah, so as the Fed lowers the borrowing rate that directly impacts our interest rate through the SND and I class. It's something that we do the best we can to forecast, but general economic conditions don't always lead us to the best interest rate that we would like.
Okay. All right, that's all I had. Thank you.
I think we're up to personnel, right? Okay, so now we're moving on to personnel. I need a motion to approve the resignation of Thomas Feminella as a teaching assistant effective July 20th, 2026.
So moved. Second.
Any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I need a motion to approve the resignation of Isabella Riviezo as a special education teacher in the elementary effective August 21st, 2026.
So moved. Second.
Any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I need a motion to approve the resignation of Kayla Yetto as elementary teacher effective August 31st, 2026.
So moved. Second.
Questions or comments? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I need a motion to approve the resignation of Erin Crossett from her position as a 3-hour per day food service helper effective August 25th, 2026 to accept another position within the district.
So moved. Second.
All in favor? I'm sorry, questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I need a motion to appoint Erin Crossett as a 5-hour per day food service helper effective for the 2026-2027 school year at the salary of $16,966.69.
So moved. Second.
Any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I need a motion to appoint Dana Thornton as an 11-month attendance clerk per the terms of the CSEA agreement effective for the 2026-2027 school year. Dana has full fingerprint clearance. Probationary period will be 6 months as per the CSEA contract.
So moved. Second.
Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I need a motion to appoint Timothy Sheehan as a bus driver effective September 1st, 2026 per the terms of the CSEA agreement. This appointment is contingent upon fingerprint clearance.
So moved. Second.
Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I need a motion to approve the resignation of Noel Gibo as a lunch recess aide effective August 11th, 2026 to accept another position within the district.
So moved. Second.
Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. I need a motion to appoint Noel Gibo as a school aide effective September 7th, 2026 per the terms of the CSEA agreement.
So moved. Second.
Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I need a motion to appoint Joanna Callahan as a lunch recess monitor effective September 7th, 2026 per the terms of the CSEA agreement. This appointment is contingent upon fingerprint clearance.
So moved. Second.
Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay. And this was just skipped, right? Okay. I need a motion to appoint Caitlin Molaison as a Spanish language teacher at step 10 effective September 1st, 2026. Ms. Molaison has full fingerprint clearance.
So moved. Second.
Any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations. Congratulations. I need a motion to appoint the fall coaches as per the attached for the 2026 fall season per the terms of the STA agreement.
So moved. Second.
Questions or comments? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. I need a motion to appoint Kim Cook as a mentor coordinator for the 2026-2027 school year.
So moved. Second.
Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I need a motion to accept the resignation of Ben Thaxton as school psychologist effective August 7th, 2026.
So moved. Second.
Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I need a motion to appoint Joseph Eustatus as a school psychologist at Step 2 for the STA contract agreement effective September 1st, 2026.
So moved. Second.
Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I need a motion to appoint Megan Marshall Sala as a teaching assistant effective September 1st, 2026 per the terms of the STA contract agreement. Megan has her professional certification in ELA Arts 7 through 12. Megan has full fingerprint clearance.
So moved. Second.
Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I need a motion to appoint Jessica Peterson as a school aide effective September 7th, 2026. Per the terms of the CSEA contract agreement, Jessica has full fingerprint clearance.
So moved. Second.
Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I need a motion to appoint Alyssa Nadeau as a school aide effective September 7th, 2026. Per the terms of the CSEA contract agreement, Alyssa has full fingerprint clearance.
So moved. Second.
Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I need a motion to appoint Marianne Kavanaugh as a school aide effective September 7th, 2026, per the terms of the CSEA contract agreement. This appointment is contingent upon fingerprint clearance.
So moved. Second.
Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay. I need a motion to appoint Jessica Pitts as a school aide effective September 7th, 2026, per the terms of the CSEA contract agreement. Jessica has full fingerprint clearance.
So moved. Second.
Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I need a motion to appoint Mario Manny Guglielmo Stees as a school aide effective September 7th, 2026, per the terms of the CSEA contract agreement. This appointment is contingent upon fingerprint clearance.
So moved. Second.
Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, we're on to action items. I need a motion to approve the shared services agreement between Galloway Central School District and Stillwater Central School District as per the terms of the agreement attached herein.
So moved. Second.
Questions or comments?
I just had a question. Is this for a special ed student?
Yes, we're taking one of theirs.
The other paying the tuition? Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I need a motion to adopt the 2026-2027 tax rates and the 2026-27 tax warrant.
So moved. Second.
Questions or comments?
Michael, did our equalization rate change at all
Yes.
from what? Last year?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Okay.
Rates generally have been decreasing.
All right. Okay, thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I need a motion to approve the cooperative agreement between Hudson Valley Community College and Stillwater Central School District for the 2026-2027, aimed at providing high school students with access to higher education per the terms set forth in the attached agreement.
Second.
Questions or comments?
I just have a question, Joe. I see there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 courses. Is this smaller than we normally have?
I think it's about the same as last year.
Okay. Have we looked at increasing this program in any way as far as giving the students more opportunities?
Well, it always depends on, our counselors being able to, sell it to the kids more or less.
Mhm.
Right now, we don't have a huge number of these classes, so we have to manage putting the aid in there or a TA. Or to cover that.
All right, thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I need a motion to approve the substitute pay rates as attached effective for the 2026-2027 school year.
So moved. Second.
Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I need a motion to approve the merger in the sport of wrestling boys at the modified JV and varsity levels between Stillwater Central School District, Mechanicville City School, and Hoosick Valley School for the 2026-2027 school year.
So moved. Second.
Questions or comments? All in favor? Oh, Daryl, yes.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
In reading through the notes for the meeting, it sounds like this merger agreement would not require school board approval in subsequent years. It would go to the uniform agreement through the ADs and the superintendent.
So I think if I heard that correctly, it would not need approval annually as we move forward. It would just continue. Is that what your question was?
Yeah, that's my question. I think all of the sports mergers require school board approval on an annual basis. I'm just wondering why this one's being treated differently.
Okay, good.
Mr. Hazen, the Hoosick Valley was not part of the merger last year. 2 years ago they were, last year they were not. So now they're back in to this merger. So we have to have the board approved.
Yeah, no, it's totally understandable. I feel like these mergers can sometimes be contentious issues in the community. It may be better to come for school board approval annually versus, through the athletic director or the superintendent. Just my opinion.
No.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I need a motion to approve the agreement by and between Stillwater Central School District and the R&E May School, effective for the extended school year program per the terms set forth in the attached agreement.
So moved. Second.
Questions or comments?
Yeah, my question is this another student from our school district going to St. Catherine's?
Yes.
And this is for the summer and for the fall and for the school year?
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I need a motion to approve the agreement by and between Stillwater Central School District and St. Catherine's Center for Children, R&E May School, effective for the 2026-2027 school year program per the terms set forth in the attached agreement.
So moved. Second.
Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I need a motion to approve the contract for Jody Facto St. Gelay for transition coordinator to provide services to the district as per the attached agreement for the 2026-27 school year.
Second, I'm sorry.
Questions or comments?
Yes. What hours does this person work? Do you know, there was nothing in the agreement.
I don't know that she works specific hours. She does consulting work or special.
And it's usually later in the day if it's a student that they.
So that 22,000, she just comes whenever we need her.
Yeah, and I think she does a lot of work outside of the actual school day with the placements and IEPs and stuff like that. She isn't necessarily tied to the school day
Okay.
schedule.
All right, thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I need a motion to approve the contract between UHS of Doylestown LLC, DBA Foundations, Behavioral Health, and Stillwater Central School District effective 7/1/26 through 6/30/27 per the terms of the attached agreement.
So moved. Second.
Questions or comments?
Yes. Reading through this contract, I noticed that the annual amount of this agreement says may not exceed $475,000. Do you have an exact amount that we negotiated with these people, or what is this for? Exactly.
That's a student of ours that was placed in Rochester and certain placement that didn't fit his needs anymore.
Mhm.
And we had to keep searching, and this place was Pennsylvania. So he has a high level of needs, and it's year round.
Residential.
Okay, so is that the amount of money that we're going to be paying? Just,
Well, not going to be that.
okay,
All right, exactly.
all right. It just seems like we have a lot of things this year. Is this something unusual, or are we having more?
No, they actually came all at the same time, I feel like this year.
Okay.
That's probably the way they should be, before the beginning of the school year starts.
Is that, yeah, okay. All right.
But this one we did do last year too.
Yeah, I just happened to read through it this time.
Yeah.
And I noticed that that amount was in there, and I'm like, oh my goodness. So,
Yeah, that does not represent one student's cost.
okay, all right. Okay. Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I need a motion to approve the agreement between St. Anne Institute and Stillwater Central School District per the terms set forth in the agreement from July 1st, 2026 through June 30th, 2027.
So moved. Second.
Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I need a motion to approve the agreement between the Charlton School Ketchum Grande Memorial School and Stillwater Central School District per the terms set forth in the agreement from July 1st, 2026 through June 30th, 2027.
So moved. Second.
Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I need a motion to approve the related service agreement by and between Stillwater Central School District and Access Therapy Group, PT, OT, SLP, and Psychology Services, PLLC, for the extended school year program for July 1st, 2026 through August 31st, 2026, per the attached agreement terms.
So moved. Second.
Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I need a motion to approve the shared services agreement by and between Mechanicsville City School and Stillwater Central School per the terms of the agreement attached.
So moved. Or second.
Questions or comments?
Can you just explain a little bit more as to what this is for?
Yep, that's
All
the,
the background is in,
There's no background on this one.
that's okay. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
This is the same type of shared services contract as with Gowan, so we're taking a mechanical student for tuition.
All right. Okay, thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, we are on to communication section and board items of interest. I have a couple things. I don't know that it's best to bring it up right now since we have so many board members out. But the question of, or actually, we don't need to have 2 meetings a month. We have them and it's great and it spreads everything out. But we had discussed if there would be any interest in going down to 1 a month, if that's easier for anybody to make or schedule. that would obviously extend the meetings. So I just wanted to put it out there for folks to think about if they would be interested in that, if they would like that, or if they see any issues with that.
The only issue that I can see is if there's something that comes up that we have to vote on.
Waiting longer.
Yeah, and we're waiting longer, and sometimes we can't wait, we have to get it done, so.
Sure.
That's the only issue.
That's definitely something to consider.
And
I think-
we've tried this in the past.
Okay.
You know, not going either from one meeting, and the second meeting was like a program committee meeting where there's no business, you know, that didn't really work out well, so.
Sure. Yeah, I just wanted to, I know we talked about it briefly, and then I just wanted to bring it up and make sure everybody was aware to kind of discuss. That's really it. Anybody else have anything?
Just so everybody was aware, I'm not gonna give a full report on everything tonight, but I attended the Leadership and Education event, that was put on by NISBA for 2 days, in the end of July. I also attended the, virtual law seminar for 2 days. That was just like the week after. Just briefly, the one thing that I'll highlight tonight is that there was, a lot of discussion, on the New York Inspires program, the Portrait of a Graduate. The commissioner was there with a panel of like 4 or 5 people from the State Ed Department. Of course, she espouses that this New York Inspires program is the largest reform to American education, American high school education in history. So, and we all have heard about the 6 core competencies that our students should be having. She informed us that they held a 2-day retreat with her team, her New York Inspires team, and to talk about where they are at and what's going to be happening. The one question that she put out to us was, what is education? And her comment was, is it that you sat in a seat and learned facts to take a test, or is it to learn to grow and be a critical thinker and ready for the future? And the goal is for every child to be on a path of success no matter where they sit. And, education, has many different things to people. They talked about the BOCES programs where they built a house, and building that house with the kids are using math and reading comprehension in that project. So that's part of this New York Inspires. She said the timeline right now that they're looking at, she said it's dynamic and it changes from day to day. Of course, the first part of it was to redefine credits and learning experiments. The second part is decoupling of assessments for the graduates, and that's not done yet. They're looking to do that early fall. And then moving to one New York State diploma, which is going to be phased in with the students that enter 9th grade in 2029. So right now, her comments to all of the board members and superintendents that were there, that she recommended that school districts not wait for state ed, that you start planning at the district level. And because she feels that this is not a top-down program, and your local school districts are the ones that need to be making those decisions. And as board members, we need to be helping to direct and guide those decisions. She also, the other comment she made, it was about the Regents exams. They are not getting rid of Regents. The Regents exams are not looked at by colleges and other states that do not have Regents. She said that Regents have a purpose, but not for accountability. So early fall, when they decouple the assessments, she goes through they will show us how the Regents, she will show us how the Regents are going to be used and where they're going to be in the scheme of things. Let's see. And of course, her side note was New York State is #1 in educating students. So she basically said, to us as board members, we need to ask the questions of our administrators. What is our assessment strategy? We also need to realize that the new vision of New York State Inspires may not be, quote, a 6-period day, and we need to get input from students, parents, teachers, and administrators and staff, because this is going to be a lot of work. And the state was going to will be providing the framework for the portrait of graduate, but the local district should be looking toward your own ideas to solve each benchmark. So there's a couple of schools that she mentioned, the Ulster County BOCES and the Middletown School District. She also said that, a lot of the project-based learning, you see that in your enrichment programs and in your clubs and things that, because kids are doing projects, even on the sports field, they're working together and they're, planning and doing what they need to do in those sports programs. So all of that is somewhat project-based, okay? But there's the Jamestown School, they do the math, teach the math and English through aviation projects. Putnam School District does science projects, and they also have an entrepreneurial lab. She said there was a 7th grader that started his own LLC with the help of his teacher, a 7th grader. So, and he's doing very well with it from what I understand. So, and then there's the Great Neck School District, where their lessons plans are instilling that portrait of a learning. So my takeaway from all of this is that I think, we need to make sure that, our teachers and our administrators, that we hear from them as to what's going on and where we are and how we're going to start looking at this and implementing it, and maybe thinking outside the box of how we educate our kids. That's something that we need to really, start directing and guiding. So that was just one of the ones that I went to. I have other reports that I can give you at another board meeting. I went to the Governing for Better Student Outcomes, Student Mental Health in a Digital Age. We also talked a lot about student mental health, and I also got a card from because there was people there from the Department of Health, about how you can start up mental health clinics within your school district. So she gave me her card and, told me to give her a call, we could talk about that and see if there was something that we might be interested in doing. The other thing they talked about with this New York Inspires is that, they asked students what they wanted and what they wanted to see. A lot of them were talked about financial learning about how finances work and things like that. So that's probably going to be incorporated in a lot of what we're going to be doing as, this New York Inspires program. Other than that, I will, at a later date, give you some more information. I know there's something, I don't know if you know about it, Jim. For the next school year, we have to give parents and students information on drowning. That's a new law that's come through, so that's something that we will have to do. I also got a bunch of booklets for different type of things for board members, reading and, learning stuff. So I can give those to Renee and she can keep them in our library. And if anybody wants to just take one out and read it, that's fine. The other question I had is our contracts that we settled. Who is going to be in charge of redoing those books and getting them done? Or are we just going to do an MOA and that's it?
Good question. I think the STA is supposed to get them printed with booklets, correct?
Okay.
CSEA might produce.
CSE usually gives a bound
Or
contract,
Okay.
but sometimes it takes, I think the last one almost did the.
Yeah, it takes months.
I just wanted to find out who is going to be in charge of doing that. The other thing is our AD. Is there any decision made on our AD?
We'll talk about that next and executive.
Okay. And I think that's all I have.
Okay, touch base on just a couple of those things. So climate education and financial literacy has to be implemented at the high school level. And we're going to go ahead and do it at the middle school level as well this year. Now, not a full class, it has to be integrated into a certain class. So kids will be getting at it at the young age, not until the elementary school, until a year after. Actually, that's with financial literacy, then it staggers one more year for the environmental stuff at the high school and middle level, and then the year after. So we're ahead of that. Over the summer, there was a superintendent in the area that retired. She is on her own now, and she's doing some stuff through the BOCES. So she had a couple trainings on New York Inspires portrait of graduate stuff. Big district. They already have a portrait that they worked out, how they rolled it out. Not that it's going to be exactly what we use they did a training on how to create that, how to get teachers involved, and eventually will be some parents and board members can be on our committee. So we went, I was there with, I think, Jim, Tim, and Clint, depending on who was off or who was on that day, sent it out, if you're in, let's go. So three administrators, myself went to that one, and Fridays, Steve sent out, Dr. Doak sent out an invite to, if anyone would be available in the summer. And I think he's got a couple of teachers going to that. And I think he's still connected with the Wish Me Bossies at this time, so he's going to talk to the women about that. He can't attend the one on Friday. Three instructional leaders from the junior senior high also attended with the administrators, Dave Thorpe, Kim Cook, and Lisa Lusk. It was just spontaneous, so they didn't send anything out, but I'm sure they're going to have some stuff going forward. And we talked about what we'll do on our first superintendent's conference day. At least touch a little bit on what is it going to look like in Stillwater.
Yeah, and then, I would appreciate it anyway, to get updates as to, what we're doing, where we're going, so that, because, they also talk about how the board should be driving this initiative and making sure that we are doing what we need to do so that we're ready when it comes. It's not great, but in 2029. So, but it would be helpful to let we know what's, exactly what's going on. Thank you.
Thanks. Any other board items of interest? Daryl?
I have a quick item of interest. I see provided the public input non-agenda and agenda items. That's fine. I would suggest that we move that to the beginning of the meeting. If someone had comments on agenda items, we would have heard their thoughts and opinions prior to voting on this agenda.
For anyone who didn't hear that, he'd like to, since we condensed non-agenda and agenda item comments, they were put where the non-agenda public comment is. So he just suggested that we move that up for anybody who could.
I just had one other question. When are you going to start signing committees?
Yes, so I wrote that down that we are talking about committees. We talked about all the committees and if there are any that can kind of be, can meet less, and maybe we don't necessarily need a committee, it'll just be someone's responsibility to handle certain things. But I'll have that out hopefully before the next board meeting.
Okay, just my comment on that is that it's all fine, you don't have to have as many committees, but what work of those committees is going to be coming to the board, and you're going to be doing that work during the board meetings. Because regardless of, because we only have facilities, the program, policy. Now, the audit committee, we have to have.
Yes, that's the only one that by law we have to have.
Yes, by law, yes. And, well, not necessarily policy, but we do have to have, unless you want to sit here and go through policies every board meeting.
We have a lot to do there. We have a lot of work to do with policies.
Yes, we do, and that, that needs to get, we need to get going. But there are some other policies too that have come down through the law that we have to have down. So, so that, I'll report on that, but.
Yeah, it was more like finance committee, for example, the cadence, we were doing it monthly. A lot of those months kind of leading up to when we get the state budget, didn't really have a lot that we could really discuss. I mean, I'm not saying we don't have to meet prior to that, but the cadence for those. And then I'm pretty sure there was a committee specific to superintendent evaluation.
Yeah,
and I think that
yeah.
could just be handled by
By the board
that's what I was thinking,
yes.
it could be handled by like one person, technically.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I hopefully will have some recommendations and I can send them out via email for committees. And then if there's any concerns about those committees, we can address them.
Okay, so you're going to assign them before asking people what they'd like, or?
Yeah, I could ask everybody.
Wait, actually, except for myself and Carrie, you could probably just
Yeah.
put us on a committee. Unless she has anything specific, but, you could keep them the same as they were last year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
get the random number generator or random name generator out, so. Luck of the draw for that.
Yeah.
But yes, so I'll be working on the committees.
Great.
Okay. So in that case, we will enter the public input on non-agenda and agenda items. Okay, good evening. We are about to convene into the public comment period for our meeting. Thanks to everyone for joining us tonight. We're about to start the public comment part of our meeting, but first a quick reminder. As a board, we believe it's essential to hear your thoughts and concerns to make sure we have time to discuss your feedback and get input from the administration. We will not be able to respond to your comments tonight. We'll follow up with an answer at our next meeting or via email from the appropriate staff member. Please keep in mind that it's the board policy that we don't discuss student or personnel issues during this time. We take those concerns very seriously, and we ask that you follow the proper administrative channels to resolve them. Finally, please be respectful of everyone. Let's make sure everyone has a chance to speak without interruption. When you speak, please state your name and address for the record, and you will have 3 minutes to do so. Now we'll open the floor for your comments. Sorry.
Okay, okay, all right. I'll get this up. My name's Brandon Dingman. I'm the parent of 2 students at Stillwater Elementary. Address is 29 Sawmill Road in Ennico. Earlier today, I sent the board and Ms. Mariano an email with full research citations, so tonight I'll just give you the heart of it. I'm here about the plan to fill the elementary library position with a teaching assistant instead of a certified teacher following Mrs. O'Malley's reassignment. I want to be clear about what this change actually does, because on paper it looks like a staffing swap. It isn't. Under New York State regulations, a teaching assistant cannot teach. They can only support instruction under a certified teacher's direction. Our certified librarians at the middle and high school, so weekly library time at the elementary school stops being a taught class. Research skills, information literacy, learning to love reading, and become supervised book checkout. That's the real change. The research on this is unusually consistent. More than 30 statewide studies over 30 years show that elementary schools with certified librarians post higher reading scores, and that link holds even after controlling for poverty and spending. The strongest study, which tracked matched students in North Carolina for 5 years, found the odds that this pattern of coincidence are less than 1 in 1,000. And the same research is emphatic about who benefits most: economically disadvantaged students and students with IEPs. That last part is personal. Our daughter is on an IEP. Kids like her work harder than their classmates for every step of reading progress. A certified educator who knows how to match a struggling reader to the right book and coordinate with her classroom and special ed teachers is one of the few supports the evidence says actually moves the needle for kids like ours. A book checkout line cannot do that. If you look at our county, literacy leaders like Shenandoah, Burndale, Saratoga Springs, every one of them staffs every elementary library with a certified teacher. Not one district leading Saratoga County on ELA uses the teaching assistant model. Stillwater is above state average today. Our 3rd grade ELA is our weakest score. The research says this change bites them first and shows up over the next 2 to 4 years, long after the staffing decision is forgotten. So my ask is simple: restore a certified teacher to the elementary library, or if that truly can't happen this year, give district families a written plan and a timeline for getting there. This is one of the least expensive literacy supports we have and one of the most expensive to use. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Good evening, Wendy Johnston, 176 here in Stillwater. As a reminder, I wear many hats in the district, but this evening I'm speaking to you from the perspective of a concerned community member and taxpayer. On July 29th, an administrative decision to change the programming and practices of the elementary library was shared with the public. Well, shared with the teacher and the classroom set of parents being directly impacted by the choice. The news spread like wildfire through the community. So many questions, no real answers. Everyone was and is shocked and very concerned. The voters in this district just supported the largest tax increase in decades at the school budget vote in May. During budgetary meetings, there were never any mentions of possible cuts, especially to programs or services for our children. So the first question raised is why? Why would you support a decision that cuts something that was already budgeted for, and the library of all things? The fact that no plan for the library has been shared leaves more questions. Will the library be accessible to teachers, to students? How? When? Who's going to run and maintain things? The library has very recently been remodeled with taxpayer money. Grants and public funding have been poured into this space. The resources, the books, the tools, and now what? What's the plan? And waiting for our new principal to start to make the decision, that's not a plan. That's passing the buck and putting the new guy in an incredibly awkward and difficult situation, which is completely unfair. It's unclear to the public just how much the administration and members of this board understand about the importance of the library. Please keep in mind that this is a resource that serves 500 plus students and staff. It's not just for checking out books. Library programming includes so much more, from makerspace opportunities and book tastings to lessons in discerning research, New York State requirements for digital citizenship, internet safety, and cyberbullying prevention. There's classroom components that provide support for teachers and staff with supplemental resources and lessons, and so much more. There's a rumor being shared that a teaching assistant will be placed in the library. Are you aware that that choice would only allow for a book exchange? Everything else that I just mentioned is gone. A TA is very limited, but you'll get what we pay for. How much is this decision going to save the district financially? How much will your choice cost our children academically? The cost of a TA compared to a new teacher, the difference there is about $20,000 in savings. Is that worth the cost to student learning? These are our youngest, most impressionable learners. These are the ones who we want to explore and love and be excited about literacy. Did you consider the lasting impact that this change on the library will have? The lack of transparency, honesty, accountability, understanding, and communication is very disappointing. Please do better for our students and our community.
Thank you. Did anybody else have any comments?
I don't know if you can't hear me. I'm Laura Segura, for those who don't know me. I wanted to first list out, I guess, why this is so important to me, and I commit so much time to literacy of our community. I'm a parent, a taxpayer. I run the PTA committee
Excuse me, can you give your address, please?
Oh, sorry, 104 Trask Lane, Stillwater.
Thank you. And what was the last name?
Segura.
Thank you.
I run the committee for the Pick a Reading Partner program every year. It's a month-long program in the elementary school, encouraging literacy, and I partner with the library as well as the public library. I'm a library-specific substitute. I filled in when there was need over the last couple of years based on my number of years volunteering 1 to 2 times a week. I'm also a public library board member, and I volunteer with the Saratoga Literacy League. So as you can tell, I spend a lot of my time promoting reading to kids. I wanted to come tonight because I wanted to express that I was disappointed in the disregard being shown towards the elementary school stance on literacy. For the years that Ms. Tolman's been there, one of her main points was to focus on literacy and to provide as many opportunities inside and outside of the library for kids to access those programs. I do know, as Wendy had said, that, you know, these two positions were already passed in the budget. I guess I, as a taxpayer, don't understand why, if they were both in existence and taken care of, why they're not being billed appropriately. I feel like it would be a lot easier to find a teacher than a person who's had 5 years of experience building programs in the library. That's my understanding, and I may be wrong, that none of these positions were listed, and they're all being handled within the district. The only way that I think it should have been handled, especially just out of respect for the wonderful school that Stillwater is to improve the library. If you had said, we're hiring a certified librarian, that would have been wonderful. But to back up something that we already were providing doesn't make sense, and I'm having a very hard time wrapping my head around it. Just to give you an idea of being in the library so often, some of the things that we've given to our students, having a consistent person there, she's known these kids since pre-K. She knows what they like to read. She knows what books go out all the time. She can replace things that don't apply anymore as the world of information changes. She can add in the stuff that they need to know. Extra programs, there's makerspace. Are you familiar with Masked Singer? There's a show on TV. This year there was a program run called Masked Reader. Teachers around school wore masks, read a book, and the students had to guess. Where are those programs, those interactive ideas, the things that you were talking about from your conference that are going to continue? Who's going to make those? Everyone in the school already wears too many hats. Who's going to be keeping the catalog up to date? Who's going to replace the internet safety? Where are the enrichment programs going to go, and who's going to handle them? How often are the students going to have access to the library? Is it going to be once a month? How long are they going to be in there? Are they going to be able to support research projects like the Wax Museum and other research things that need to be provided inside the classrooms? The person that was there, Susan O'Malley, she knew exactly what the teachers needed and when, and that comes with time. Now, that people will learn, but it has to be a full-time position, and it has to be someone dedicated to those specific needs of the students. So I'm asking to relook at those situations and try to do the best you can under the circumstances to bring that back, make sure we're continuing to be strong amongst the schools in the area, and that we can keep our kids ahead and growing. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Okay, my name's Bethany Whiting. You all have already gotten an email from me, I know. I live at 11 Soulshine Farm Road, right up the road here. So I don't want to, belabor the same comments, but I will just share, as I've said, I know I already sent you guys all an email. I know, thank you for responding to me, Mr. Mariano. And in that response, you did say that this decision that you all are making is in the best interest of the students and for the financial viability of our district. And I just will share with you, my children are not in elementary school anymore. My daughter's going into 7th, and my son's going to be a senior. So they're moved on from elementary. But my daughter's favorite program was Miss O'Malley. It was her favorite thing to go to the library. And currently, right now, ironically, she's at our public library at 7 o'clock at night because she has developed such a love for reading and books and that programming. She did the things you're talking about. We went and read books with these little flashlights one time. They had to bring, I don't know what it was. They had to bring blankets and pillows, and we all sat in the library and read books. And these things are exactly what you were talking about, thinking outside the box, building that enrichment. And now hearing that no other school does this without a certified teacher just bolsters the research I have as well. All these things highlighted. If you want research, I will supply it. I will find it for you because it is out there. I mean, it's over 50 years of research that supports that this increases our test scores. It increases math, ELA, and I will tell you, I also read some research that other schools have done across our country, what you guys are talking about, if that rumor is true around its TA. And as they did that, not so ironically, our literacy rates and test scores are dropping around the country. So, I think this is a really big decision. And also as a taxpayer, I'll just support what you guys said. I mean, if it's already been put in there, you know, we spend a lot of money on a lot of things, I know, and I don't know all the ins and outs of our budget, right? I know, it's, no, thank you for what you do, but, I can't imagine that, you know, $20,000, what's that gonna get us? Is that going to really, save all that much, right? When it's compared to how much those students are gonna miss in that elementary school. And I will say now, my kids are in the middle high school, are also excited and use the library. Maybe not my senior as much, but, that's gonna add to her workload, right? I mean, and I don't wanna see that get taken away from them either, especially because, one of Grace's favorite things was, coming over here to actually couldn't wait to see the library. So, you know, these things are impactful for certain children. I know not all, but it does benefit all of them regardless, so. You know, I don't wanna say the same things. I all like so much of the same stuff, so that's just, there it is. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, thank you all for your comments. So, okay, I need a motion to adjourn into executive session for a personnel matter. All in favor?
Did you just say executive session?
Yes, yes,
Thank
all in
you.
favor? Thank you. Thank you all.